Welcome to today's Ukraine War Update for May 29, 2026. The war crossed onto NATO soil overnight. During a large Russian strike on Ukraine, a Garan 2 attack drone, Russia's copy of the Iranian Shahed, flew into Romanian airspace and slammed into the roof of an apartment building in Galați, around 16 kilometers from the border. A woman and her teenage son were wounded. It is the first time a Russian drone has hit a densely populated area inside a NATO country and caused injuries. Romanian F-16s scrambled at 1 in the morning. Emergency alerts went out across 3 counties. The response was immediate. NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte called Russia's behavior, quote, reckless, a danger to us all. The U.S. ambassador to NATO vowed to defend, quote, every inch of Allied territory. Romania expelled the Russian consul, closed his consulate, and its foreign minister said the strike meets the criteria to trigger Article 4 consultations. And against that backdrop, President Zelensky issued a warning of his own. Intelligence, he says, shows Russia is preparing a new large-scale strike. The pressure he is asking for is sanctions, an air defense that cannot wait. 960 Russian troops killed in a day. 1,750 drones destroyed. The number that stands out today, Russian vehicle and fuel truck losses crossed 100,000 for the war. A grim marker of just how much equipment this invasion is burning through. The overnight package that sent the drone into Romania was big, 232 drones, and 1 ballistic missile. Ukrainian air defense brought down 217 drones, but Odesa and Zaporizhia were both struck. At least 2 people were killed and 25 wounded over the day. Off the Odesa coast, a Russian drone hit a Turkish-owned dry cargo ship, the A&T, sailing for Turkey. A fire broke out on the superstructure and 2 crew were evacuated wounded by the Ukrainian Navy. In Odesa itself, around 4,000 people were left without power. On the ground, the story keeps tilting Ukraine's way. On the Oleksandrivka axis, in the Dnipropetrovsk region, Ukrainian forces liberated the village of Novoselivka and clawed back at least 46 square kilometers, with clearing operations across half a dozen nearby settlements. The wider picture is the real headline. By ISW's count, Russia has advanced just over 100 square kilometers in the first 5 months of this year, against more than 1,600 in the same period last year. The heaviest fighting is still around Pokrovsk and Huliaipole, but Russia is paying more and gaining less than at any point in the war. And Ukraine is a big reason why. Overnight, Ukrainian drones struck an oil refinery in Volgograd, the latest hit in what Defense Minister Fedorov calls a, quote, logistical lockdown. The idea is simple: push mid-range drones 50 to 100 kilometers behind the front, and systematically break the fuel, the rail, and the supply lines that feed Russia's offensive. More than 10 Russian refineries have been hit this month, and Washington's own assessment now reads the same way Kiev's does. Ukraine's drones are breaking Russian defenses from the rear. The slow map up front and the fires deep in Russia are the same story, told from 2 ends. That wraps up today's update. If you found this useful, press the like button and subscribe in order to support this channel. Stay informed, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.